Hey guys, Youngblood Fantasy 91 here with another commentary for you wonderful people. So, if you guys know about Cyberwolf 087, then you're in luck, because you know someone who has given me inspiration to rant, and indirectly, of course, commentate. Now, a couple months back, Cyberwolf decided to do a rant on nostalgiatards, or people who fixate on the past to escape from the present, which they hate with a vitriolic passion. Now, the rant itself was pretty ship-shaped, but someone decided to do a response video to it. Now, granted, the person who responded did bring up some valid points, but just like the other 75% of the internet who can't spell or type worth anything, her points were lost in bad presentation. Plus, she had some other defects in her points that I wish to address here. I'll listen in and I'll see what I have to say about this. Hey Tomboy Girl P5, I'm Youngblood Fantasy 91, and now that we've familiarized ourselves, why don't we get to the meat of your video, eh?
Out in the street, 'cause I slowly like a rat. Woman, you don't know me. Yeah, you don't.
I don't know about you, but I feel this video is going exceptionally slowly. I mean, all you have are several words in small font at the center of the screen, so I don't think you should devote 10 or 15 seconds per each sentence fragment you have here. I'm going to speed up a notch. BAM! I really feel like a douche for being such a grammar stickler, but who is this 50% guy? Should I know him? Does he have problems with T4? And why is he not off reducing prices at Walmart?
But I'm gonna know you. You listen, woman, just can't throw me.
Okay, so you agree with Cyberwolf about certain parts of the video, but why did it take you almost a minute and a half to establish this point? Can we get to a point in the video where you actually counter his points and not sit through every single one-word sentence you put up here for 10 seconds or more? Okay, thanks.
I won't stand it. If you don't know me, if you don't know me, know me, know me, know.
Didn't Cyberwolf literally say this at the beginning of his video? He literally said that every decade had its pros and cons, therefore admitting that every generation had issues that people had to confront. Again, you're not refuting any of his points. I am really starting to question why you decided to make this video, and my only rationale I can think for you at this point was that you did it on a dare.
Yeah, but I'm gonna know you.
Okay, this is going at a snail's pace. What are you doing here, dear friend? What you are doing here is literally confirming what Cyberwolf said throughout the video. He brought up concrete examples of how each decade brought about issues and problems and what have you. Again, where are your refutations?
Listen to me, I'm telling you. You look at me, woman, yeah, and tell the truth. I know you're mine. I can't see that you're in need. I'll show you, woman.
Okay, 1 minute later and we are still being presented with examples. Okay, how hard is it to go back and shorten either the time the text appears on the screen or increase the length of each sentence so that way no one feels their time is being wasted over trivial sentence fragments and one-word phrases? Look, I can do this very easily. Observe. Each decade had its own ups and downs, ceaselessly following time's arrow, contributing to it both humanity's acmes as well as man's inhumanity to man. The 1950s, we saw the invention of television, but Charles Starkweather committed one of the first serial killings. The 1960s, we had great music and influential rock artists around that time, but the Vietnam War created world conflict. And so on and so forth. You know how quick and easy it was for me to say this? Well, imagine doing this in text form. It's not that hard given you are in complete control of the text. I don't see why you would have issues with this.
Yeah, that you belong to me. You're gonna know me, know.
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer did the same thing, while John Wayne Gacy murdered boys and men, and David Berkowitz, aka Son of Sam, killed women. Why am I comparing serial killers and their modes of killing? Because I again want to demonstrate how easy this is. You are literally breaking up your sentences for no reason. It's like jump cuts in a video, except the progression between these jump cuts are going as slow as molasses. God damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna know you.
Yes, we are definitely encountering lots of things in society that are giving us problems. Censorship is an issue, the financial crisis is an issue, and kids are an issue. But are you trying to tell me that this is a unique form of getting worse? Because things like this have happened for a while. Ever hear of stagflation, the Kent State University massacre, the Pentagon Papers? Those are things that all happened in the 1970s that dealt with the same issues you presented here. So I don't see why this has to be given any more credence than incidents that occurred in previous decades. Here comes the spelling stickler douchebaggery again. So, barley, grown in Hollywood, has talent. Get Christopher Nolan and tell him to write a whole new movie starring this barley. It will be called The Hops of a Nation.
Give me no reasons. Said you go free. Well, I'm gonna be now. If you gotta know me, if you gonna know me now.
Look, I understand the whole issue about obesity and fast food, but could you at least present an independent clause so that I can follow you without this trivial dragging? Please!
Know me now. Know me now. Yeah. You're gonna know me.
Well, from the looks of things, you are decrying today's society and the way things are going, but I won't label you as a nostalgiatard just yet. However, I will say this. If you are saying sorry for being a nostalgiatard, then frankly, it almost hints at the fact that you have acted like one anyways. It's all about deductive reasoning, people.
Know me. I said you're gonna know me. I said you're gonna know me.
But you tried to present this earlier as a point against Cyberwolf. Ah, screw it. At least you admit you made a mistake there. Okay, I am trying to pry apart your muddled grammar here. Apparently you feel that all nostalgiatards are stereotyped as bad, and you admit that you are one yourself. Well, all I gotta say is this. It's not my fault we have people like Benthelooney or most of the Sonic fanbase to give you nostalgiatards a bad rep. Not to mention the name is pejorative anyway, so why would you even give yourself that label? You're kidding me, right? You're defending Benthelooney on the grounds that he is an alright guy. Let me tell you something, dude. This guy is too heavily fixated on the past, and, dare I mention, betrays his nostalgiatard mindset for shows such as My Little Pony. Not to mention he gets angry when he is criticized, so that makes him easy fodder for criticism. I hope that answers your question. Precisely why we call him a two-faced hypocrite, because even though he stands and remains absolutely stubborn about the past, he still turns to some modern shows anyways. I know that being a nostalgiatard is bad to begin with, but I would rather he actually defend his views instead of making exceptions for anything he finds as cute or good in terms of recent cartoon endeavors. Oh? And why do you hate Juniorfan? Is it because he wanted to defend his views about Benthelooney? Well, I'm sorry, but that's a poor reason to hate him because you are hating him for presenting an alternate viewpoint. I find that disturbing, especially because your hatred is remarkably unfounded. Guys, do you feel an aura about you? Do you feel a sense of exasperation? A feeling of frustration at the thought that all human reason has been roadblocked for no obvious reason whatsoever? If so, you feel the presence of an ad hominem attack. And you all know how I feel about ad hominem attacks, right? Which is precisely why we don't cotton to their views, because that is just a matter of perspective, and they seem to express it as an immutable fact. I really hate it when people assume that whatever they say is automatically correct, and nostalgiatards like the guy you mentioned are guilty of that. Then don't watch television that often anymore. Use the resources you found and try to ignore it. I know it's the media, but honestly, we are not living in an Orwellian society and there are no telescreens, so I think you can try to let it be without any fanfare. My only suggestion is, when you do this, don't engrave your bias in their impressionable minds, because then we will see a whole new generation of nostalgiatards, and I want that out of the gene pool if you can help it. Forgot and didn't understand. Okay, you restated Cyberwolf's points and spent almost 2 minutes of the video reaffirming what he said. Then you go on to defend Benthelooney and still decry today's media and the state of society. As far as I'm concerned, you did little to give Cyberwolf any feedback or suggestions. Not to mention you lambasted Juniorfan to high heaven, all the while have your text crawl at the pace of continental plates moving around the Earth. As far as I can tell, you padded the length of this video by unnecessarily leaving sentence fragments and one-word sentences up on the screen for 10 seconds or more. That was why the video was long. I will bet you the video length could have been decreased by a factor of 3 if you actually used reasonable time lengths or at least consolidated some of your sentences. Just wanted to make that clear. Well, although I am not Cyberwolf, at least I replied to you, so I think I gave you what you wanted. Hope this helps, eh? And that's the way it is. Look, I understand you were trying to give Cyberwolf pointers, and that's fine, but what you did was present your points in a very poor and roundabout manner, and you did not pay full attention to Cyberwolf's video before you decided to respond. And besides, I know that each decade had its own problems and issues, but Nostalgiatards tend to magnify the issues we have and considered it the worst things ever, when far worse things have happened. As Cyberwolf said, things such as the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, as well as the 1964 Anchorage earthquake are prime examples of this. I know one can say Hurricane Katrina was bad, but the next time you have your own town moved a whole several miles from where it originally is, let me know next time. And honestly, having a grudge over a Juniorfan will not help you in the end because you base it on flimsy reasoning. Don't succumb to unnecessarily hating. It's bad for you. And that's all I have to say on the matter. This is Youngblood Fantasy 91, and ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all on the brighter later.